Crossing my fingers. The third time is the charm. I had to turn off my computer and start again. So I'm really hoping that we are back ready to go doing some scrapbooking today because it's the 23rd of December. And what else should you be doing besides scrapbooking? So, hopefully this makes you feel better about your own scrapbooking journey because if you caught me a little bit earlier, I went to my filing cabinet and pulled out a file from 2006. Yeah, that's what it says, 2006. So let's talk scrapbooking today. Crossing my fingers this works. Woohoo! Yay, we're here and we're live. And if you catch me live late or later, please leave a comment so I know that if you are seeing this. I think it's finally working. I think my computer was just lagging behind. We have a new scrapbooking brochure coming out in January. I just printed this one today. So this one's not current yet, but we have a current one going right now while supplies last. You can find this on my creativejuicebylonnie.com. Let's see if I've got that to share with you right here. And, oh, maybe not. So you can find that. Maybe. Well, we'll figure it out. I don't know how to do that. We'll figure it out later. This one has everything you can look at this, just a brochure if you'd like to on creativejuicebylonnie.com. Click on catalogs at the top, and then a drop-down menu will let you choose just the scrapbooking brochure. But to shop from it, you'll need to click on Shop 24/7, and then you can search for memory keeping, and all of our current kits will come up. There not only are there kits, but there are just the designer series paper, should you want just the designer series paper. There are additional stamp sets available for that coordinate with some of these products. There's two-tone cardstock in 12 by 12. There are, let's see, some places there are stickers. I was trying to find those. Here we go. Some stick paper and sticker sheets together. So you get both of those together. So lots of good things to help you in your scrapbooking journey. I have moved a little bit to digital scrapbooking for some of my scrapbooking, which I love. And I recommend my forever consultant, Sherry Russin. She has some great ideas for digital scrapbooking. But if you are still enjoying and loving the tangible feel of scrapbooking, like I have to do now, my 2006 pages, because I have them printed off. All the pictures are printed and I don't have them digitally. So there we go. So I pulled out some of my pictures that were from 2006 and said, let's do this page since this was Christmas. Clear back when, and my cute little kids, look how little they were. Oh my goodness. It's almost more fun to wait this long just so that you can have the memories, right? I've chosen the Reindeer Memories Scrapbook Kit, the Scrapbook Workshop Kit, and this comes with literally everything that you need, except for you will need some Stampin' Seal, a paper trimmer, right here, here's my paper trimmer, and it tells you right down here, you're going to need the Workshop Kit, multi-purpose liquid glue, check, dimensionals, I have those here buried somewhere, Stampin' Dimensionals, Stampin' Seal, a paper trimmer, and some scissors. So let's just look at this for a moment because I want to give you some tips about this, about the kit and about scrapbooking in general. Each kit, usually the workshop kits, feature some kind of technique. This one is featuring paper weaving, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. The cool thing about these kits is when you get them, they have all of the cutting guides. So it says, here are your, this is the paper that has the blue, white and blue polka dots on one side and the red and pink on the other side. And your first cut is indicated by a pair of scissors. It tells you where to cut it too. So here's your orientation. It'll tell you whether which way should be up and down. If there is a, right here, like this one. See how this one shows you that this is, you want the reindeer facing up and down when you cut that. So you indicate right here that you're going to start with this first cut at 2 3/4 inches chunk. And then you're going to cut these other pieces that are in the gray. It tells you how big and what the sizes are, 3/4 inches by 11 inches or 3/4 inches by 10.5 inches. And then you'll have the pieces that are in white are leftovers, so you'll know what to use. So if you wanted to follow this exactly, you could use this kit and follow this exactly. And it will give you 3 layouts with 2 pages each, plus lots of leftovers. Look how many, like half a sheet is left over, or more than half a sheet. So you really could probably get more than 3 layouts, 6 pages out of these. So I happen to like 8.5 by 11. I may be the only person in America who still does 8.5 by 11, but I like it because the binders fit in my bookshelf better. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've taken a little liberty to prepare a few things. I cut my paper down to 8.5 by 11. So I have 2 pieces because I want it to be a double-sided and it goes towards each other. Then I cut my this is called white willow cardstock, I believe, down. And I've already done the weaving on one side, but I'll show you how to do this in just a second. So here we have the pieces kind of ready to go. Let me show you the original so you can see how, if I'm kind of following the same design right here. Yes, indeed I am. I'm going to just follow that great design. Let me show you how to do the paper weaving before we finish this, though. So I have another piece that I cut. This is one of the pieces that I cut off the bottom of my white willow to make. I actually cut it down a little bit. But this is an 8.5 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to do this paper weaving is, let me grab my adhesive, lay out your pieces that you want to weave in the way that you want to weave them. So here we go. I've got kind of a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and another 3/4 inch. Bring you over here. And I'm going to adhere it to at the bottom. To keep this in place while we're doing our paper weaving, I just put in a new Stampin' Seal refill, so I got to make sure that it's... Okay, there you go. Mine's a little bit short. That's okay. It's not going to matter a bit. So you're going to just adhere them to your cardstock. This would be a great technique, too, for card making, obviously. I actually started Stampin' Up. I didn't start Stampin' Up. I began with Stampin' Up 32 years ago, almost 33 now, because I wanted to use all of the supplies for my scrapbooking. And that's how I started. Here we are now. Okay, so you've got those all those pieces adhered at the bottom. Leave the top open like this, because then it makes it much easier. And you're going to start with whichever one you want on the bottom, and you may want to lay these out just so you know where they're going to line up. Let's see, that one, and then we're actually going to put in. I'm going to put the blue in, and then the purple, and then the green. I want to just mix it up a little bit on this end. Okay, so now you can see where I want this to be. I can see where I want those to go. You can take off those. And I'm just going to weave this under and over and under. Now you can adhere it. You can use your whichever adhesive you want. I think that's about right. So you're going to adhere that side, just this side right here. Next one. Adhere it on one side. Weave it the other direction, under the first one, over the second one, under the third one. And then you can add a little bit of adhesive right here. Don't want to fold it, but I do want to have a little bit, but I probably should have put that on first, huh? Okay, there we go. Over, under, over. So you see that weaving come along? All right, this one, I think we're gonna do this small one. So I'll put a little bit of adhesive on both ends of this one. So I like to weave the shorter ends into the longer pieces. It's much easier and holds on nicely. So there you go. I've got adhesive on both ends that time, and both ends of this side of this last piece. And again, weaving opposite. This one's going to go under, over, under, and over. Then the last thing you have to do is just put a little bit of adhesive under these last two pieces that are loose. Gee, Lonnie, what are you going to do with this piece? Right? Is that what you're asking? What are you going to do with this little piece? I'm going to show you. Hang tight. Hang tight. Okay, so let's bring back all of the pieces here that I've cut, pre-cut. Got a little adhesive there, but it won't hurt anything. So we talked about the cutting part on this workshop outline. And then it also tells you, oh, right here on the front, these are your photos for the first project, this project number 1. They're even labeled right here. You need 3 3x3 photos and 2 4x6 photos. Well, mine were bigger than that, so I've trimmed them down, or I've made a little. It also tells you this little garden green piece was one that you needed to cut previously to prepare it for this layout. But what I've done here, and so I'm going to start by adhering my 2 white pieces to the green mat, the 8.5 by 11, because that will make our page. Yes, the Stampin' Seal is archival, so you can use that in your scrapbooking. We're going to adhere that to one side. This one looks like it needs a little glue. We'll put some glue under that in just a minute. And then this one on the other side. So feel free to take these ideas and the techniques and then make them your own. You want that in about the right same spot. Okay, we've got our layout made. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see more of it and less of me. Can I make this smaller? Oh, yes, I can. Look at that. Once my computer's working with me, life's good. Okay, so it said that we're going to, it had some 3x3 squares, so let's kind of check this out. Can I get 3 on here? It's going to be pretty tight, but I think I can. So we're going to do this one, this one. This is similar to what it has on the instructions. I'm actually going to put yes, I'm going to put a picture on here as well. I think I want this one to journal on, so I'm going to put that up there. I think I'm going to put this picture on this page, so I won't even need that. There we go, and I could put that one down here. Let's see. Oh, yes, I can. Or I think I'm going to leave this off and then put some of the little things onto the page. So on this page, we'll do a little green and a red, I think. And then I will have another picture over here. This is Cody putting the star on top of the tree. And for some reason in 2006, I decided to make it have this funny little thing around it. Isn't that so very 20 years ago? Here's a little tip that I think is is funny that if you are a millennial, you may not even know what these numbers on the back of the picture mean. This was not when it was taken, March 8th, 2007. That is when the film was developed. You had to send your film in, or you had to print. This is when when it was printed, not when it actually happened. So I don't know if they still do that, but here you go, heads up. Okay, so I know I'm going to put this picture on this side, and I think I want this picture. The pictures that they had on the other one were and it tells you with your guide here that you want a 4x6 landscape, which means it goes this direction. It's wider than it is tall, like that. This is portrait, this is landscape. So this one really tells you this is exactly how you want your pictures. You may want a 3x4 landscape or a 3x4 portrait or just a 3x3, which can be either direction, right? I think because I have red and I'm going to put a red around this one, I'm going to do that. So don't feel bad about cutting down some of your photos to 3x3. So here I'm going to take this one and put it right here. Or shall I put it right here? I think I'm going to go like this. There you go. That I like better. So that's part of my photos. And I have a couple of other photos. Let's see. Here is Cody with Cameron skiing. So I'm going to replace a couple of these with some pictures. Okay. Almost ready to go. Almost ready to finish up our layout. I'm going to grab a little piece of real red. Do I have a piece that will fit behind here already? So darn close. It will if I cut it down. Just give me a moment to cut that right down, trim it right down. This was actually not a 4x6 photo. This was a 4x5 1/4. So if I just cut off like a little 1/4 inch of it, of that photo, it should fit on here nicely. Look at that. 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 probably is what it ended up being. Yep. So that piece is going to go right over here. In fact, we can hang it right off the edge of the layout too, because it's still within the Granny Apple green section. So let's do it. One of the things you don't want to cut off of your photos is something that might indicate when and where this happened, or something cool like an old car. You'd be amazed how many times the background of a photo can help you remember where and when that photo happened. Okay, I'm going to use my shirt to rub my picture because you don't really want your fingerprints all over your photos if you can help it. Here's another little tip for if you are just starting to scrapbook. You don't want to start at the beginning or 10, 20 years ago, as I'm doing here. You want to start with the most recent pictures, the most recent things you have. And the reason for that is those are the things you will remember. You will not, it will be harder to remember. Oh, need to move that a little bit. Luckily, my seal, I like to use seal for my photos because it is repositionable a little bit. Oh, don't worry about that. Pay no attention. Let's see if that will work better. Yes. For my two little squares. You'll remember things, and then as you work backwards, you may have some clues that help you to remember what happened earlier at a previous time. So Just kind of adding all of our pictures to our layout. Then I like to, another thing is if you are printing out your photos, put them into a sheet protector all together with the things that are happening that you want to add to the same page or the same layout or the same time frame. That makes it really easy. Like I just pulled out my sheet protector from 2006 and started my scrapbooking today, the scrapbooking. Okay, so you can see I've got my layout pretty nicely started. Let's go to our scrapbook kit here, and in this it has a couple of pages of cutouts. Christmas cheer, enjoy the season. I think that enjoy the season is the one that they used on the actual page. Let's look what else they used. So they've used some deer and some holly. Let's find all of those pieces that we want to add to. And I should have pulled those out earlier, but you get to watch me find them. Ooh, so exciting. But they are all, this one actually coordinates this scrapbook kit coordinates. Now, if I put that on, the only problem is I miss, although I like that, I could do that and I could actually replace those two. I could replace those two so that I can see the weaving up here. There's also one that says Christmas cheer, better together, family time. I kind of like this one. Actually, I think I like it right there. We're just going to do that, and it can cover up. I am going to replace these two. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Carefully, so I don't get too much of my oil on my finger on there. I'm going to do that, replace it so that I don't, oof, come on, don't rip it. So I can see the picture. All right, let's do that. Try to line it up with the top of the, oh man, you'd think how many times have I done this? A little bit taller than the other one then. Okay, there we go. And then, here we go. And then I'm ready to go. Okay, so now I can still see some of my weaving over here. I can put those on with dimensionals of any size. I just happen to have out, we'll use the edges of my mini dimensionals. That'll work. It's all going to be held together. Did you notice this? This one says Project 1 right here. So even the die cuts are telling you which project it goes with. And since we're doing Project 1, I'm going to bring this clear down here. Oh, I like that. So enjoy the season. We've got that all, and that nice dark picture from 2006. Real cameras. And then we had some cute little, this piece right here goes on the other page, on the front page. So I can do that. I love it. And then our deer, it looks like we have two stickers right here. This one. This picture, by the way, was taken at the old Provo Tabernacle. This was about 4 years before it actually burned down. Crazy. And then they made it into a temple, but Cameron was singing. She was in the Utah Valley Children's Choir, or part of that choir. Oh, look how cute! Oh my gosh, that just came together. So cute. So what about that other piece that I made, that I did my weaving on? Well, I always love to keep programs like This was the year that we went to see Sissel with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, or the Forgotten Carols, which is one of my favorite Christmas plays of all time. So on the back side of this one, I'm going to create a pocket. I think I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to use, because we're putting things into and out of this pocket, I want it to have a little more, want it to be very sticky. So I'm going to put on the tearing tape to hold it together really well, or you could use Stampin' Seal Plus. So on 3 sides, I'm putting my adhesive, and then this creates a pocket for those memories. Make sure I got it hit the right side. With leftover pieces of that. So I can just stick those right in there, and they fit perfectly on the back side of my page. So I'm ready to put these in. Oh, I wanted to show you this. Here's those die cuts. Project 2, Project 3, Project, all of those are pre-identified for you so that you know where those are going. One other fun thing about the stuff that is in this, in here, you have a little, that one looks like it's going to say ho ho. I don't know, I can't tell yet. But it has photo placeholders. So let's say you were giving some scrapbook pages as a gift. You could say, this is where you're going to put your photos. Put a photo here if you made this up as a gift, and so you actually had pre-made scrapbook pages to give to people. They know where to put their photos. Isn't that so nice? Now I've got a place for a little bit of journaling right here, or I could do it right here. But that is all finished after almost 20 years, 18 years. I've got my 2006 scrapbook, Christmas scrapbook pages finished. I can just stick those right back in. One other little tip I was going to give to you. Usually, like this page, I did my little pocket on the back. That's because I know that these things are all at the same time. You may want to make each page different if you are just doing, because you do not have to work chronologically, front or back, but you can create scrapbook pages whenever you have time. And then if they're on individual pages, you can rearrange them in your book as you need to. These two, I happen to know, will go face to face because they're the same time, same events, whatever. So I will put the other one in the other scrapbook sleeve and then put those together. Also, did you notice this is kind of fun? The two-tone cardstock is the same hue, but just a lighter version. So you can kind of play around with that. I use the same sides right here so that they kind of have a congruous, I don't know how to say that, congruent look together, and they kind of work from front to back. But I love that paper weaving technique as well. Thank you if you caught me here live or after we got all the technology worked out. I think you're going to love these scrapbook kits. I know you're going to love these scrapbook kits. And you can find those here at my webpage, creativejuicebylonnie.com. Click on Shop 24/7. But as you're taking photos this year, consider the way that the portrait and the landscape versions that you're using, so that you're not always taking, it's easy to pick up our phone and just take a photo like this, but turn it sideways occasionally so that you have some that are landscape and some that are portrait. So if you want to use some of these fun scrapbooking kits to preserve those memories, then you have a little variety. Also, zoom out a little bit in case you need to take a 3x3 and cut it down, or a photo that is large and cut it down. You can cut out some of the background. So as you're taking your holiday pictures, consider those different things. Turn your camera, zoom out, get a big picture, maybe put your people in the center, and as you're printing them, consider which direction you want them to go as well. Those are some tips for your scrapbooking season. Thank you for being here with me, and excuse me, I could feel that coming and I could not stop it. And thank you for being patient with my technology issues today, but we're glad that I've got 2006. Christmas is done. Woohoo! Have a Merry Christmas wherever you may be and whatever you may be doing, whether you're scrapbooking this week or just spending time with family. Enjoy it. Enjoy every moment. Be present in that moment. And we'll talk to you next Monday. See you then.